big piece, y'all. In case any of you have already guessed, I am dyslexic, so I'm a visual person. I have to see it to understand it. Therefore, I make these little mock-ups of the house and stuff until I can get it exactly how I want it. So, but anyway, so like I said, that's our base, and then this will be our step that gets glued on there too, and then that's pretty much it. All right, let us get to the next piece. We're going to cut the green one. All right, and just like magic, that's done. Okay, all right, let's get the white one done. This is our small piece, and voila, we've done that one. So when we go to sandwich these together, it will be like this. Then I will cover that piece, and we'll do it step by step here in just a minute, but I'm just going to show you how that is actually going to be pieced on there. Now when I said lip, because of this piece being over here on this corner, unless you want to have a lip over here jutting out just a little bit, which I didn't. I left the lip on this side, but I should have told you that. There might not be a lip on all sides, just the just this side and this side. But I mean, hey, you could, I guess you could, but then you'd have to cut it again, and I'm just not going to. So, but anyway, so that's how we're going to, but we have to cover certain steps before we do certain things. So let us get to it, and then I'll be right back, okay? Let's get it set up for the next thing. All right. So I'm going to take my scrap piece of this, and I'm going to turn it around. All right. Now I'm going to cut these out. Now, this paper from the Dollar Tree is it's great. It is awesome. I'm going to tell you what, I think it's too expensive for the sheet that you get when you can buy a roll from anywhere from $5 to $7, but each one of these sheets are $1.25. Now, having said that, I still use them, and I do like them, and especially if you don't need a whole lot of one thing, it's kind of, you can understand. But when I use that wood grain that I like so much, that's kind of bad. But anyway, this stuff, when you go to stick it down, it is stuck. It is not forgiving. That's all I'm going to say. If you try to peel it up, you're going to peel up your boards and everything else. So my thing is, when you go to use the Dollar Tree stuff, make sure that you've got it where you want, because it's got a fantastic stick. And so it will stick. That's all I got to say. So anyway, just having said that. Anyway, carry on. So I'm going to put this to where it will run over. Now the last two I actually rolled it over here, but I think the paper might actually stick better if I don't, so we're going to try it this time. If not, then you know that I cut this piece bigger and it actually wrapped around it, but we're going to see what happens. So anyway. We know that that's how that is. So like I said, we know that it's running up and under the second one. We did that on purpose so that we wouldn't have any peeling up. But anyway. So then on this next one, I am going to roll it. Alright, so we've got something like that. I'm going to take this piece. I might need a little bit for the glue to set on that. So maybe not cut it. I was going to wrap it all the way around, but I may need some of this to actually make contact to that glue. I'm not sure. So just to be safe, that's what I'm going to do. Then usually, like I said, that dyslexia, and they gotta make sure it's going to be sturdy. Okay. All right. We're not there yet, guys, but pretty soon we'll be gluing. We'll be gluing them down. So anyway, that's how that'll look. And then we'll put a brick on. Alright, so let's lay this to the side for now. See, that's what I'm talking about. I hate that stuff when it does that. Anyway. Alright. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to get, well, let me throw this away, y'all. I'm sorry. I've got to clean up. All right, while we've got this out, let's go ahead and cover this one too, so we can go ahead and get that out of the way. All right, so let's do that. Remember, this is the very, very top piece, okay? That is this piece right here, okay? All right, so let's do it. Now, in case you didn't notice, I placed this one piece all the way to the back because that's going to be this piece right here. And it actually keeps it from not having to shave it off or not gluing to the wall, which is going to be my plan. So, anyway, that's why there's no overlap on this one, but yet you see it on the others, okay?
Well, that's fine.
Do as I do, not as I say. All right. See, I told you, not forgiving. Alright. So that's the only other piece that we need to cover. Now, if you don't want to put brick around yours at all, you can just follow the same steps and just, you know, or if you don't want it as tall as mine, you know, you could, well, you'd have to because you'd step down, break a leg. But anyway, so, but those are the ones that we're going to need the concrete on. So, all right, let's set this aside. Oh, goodbye, porch. All right, let's clean this up. And it is time to talk about glue. Okay. These were already kind of damaged when I got them, but nope, that was damaged. This I did. Put it in there. Sand down the back. Because I want that to be smooth. Sometimes, you guys, I am so, whatever it is. Anyway. If I think there's a bevel at all, I will try to get that down because I don't like the bevel. So I don't do it intentionally. Yeah. Alright, it is time to glue things down. Now, I am bad to use wood glue on everything. You don't have to. I like to use wood glue. I do use this Aleene's tacky glue somewhat. I even use, if it's a thin piece of, let's say that we were going to glue scrapbook paper to here, I would not use these two. Sometimes I use fabric glue, and the reason why, now it stinks, but it doesn't have alcohol in it, so it doesn't cause the thinner boards to warp as bad, and it doesn't really make this good board from Hobby Lobby warp. It's a little expensive, but sometimes fabric glue, I learned that a long time ago, that it doesn't tend to I guess it's because it doesn't have the alcohol in it or something, but it doesn't seem to warp as much. But on this project, since we've used this glue, paper, we didn't have to worry about that. And with these pieces right here, we won't have to worry about that either, because I'm probably going to use wood glue, and I'm going to stack books on top of it and just leave it for a bit. So that's what I'm fixing to do. So it will only be a moment for you, but it's going to be a little while for me, because I'm going to glue this down and put some heavy books on it. Okay, I'll be right back. Hmm. All right, while our book is pressing our porch down and gluing, I've decided to go ahead and start cutting our bricks to put around our step. So, and then I've folded them, so that they would have nice crisp lines and stuff like that. So that's what I'm actually doing right now, is that I am measuring for the bricks to be put around the steps. And then when I get those pieces cut, I'll get them glued on. And then I've also cut some of these pieces right here for the front of the steps to be glued on there, and then what's going over here. So that's what I've been working on, is just is cutting getting ready for our steps to be covered. So I will be cutting them to length and then cutting them on here. And then I will go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. I figure you've got enough knowledge. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I get through. And because this is still drying. And then we'll put after we get our brick facade around there, we'll glue that top piece on. All right. I'll be back. Now, when I say gluing, I should have specified that I actually meant, this is where this tape comes in handy. And then you can just tear it. I think that's the way I cut it. All right. So this. Now, I don't have any nails, so sometimes it's hard to grab this little end, but I'm not your girly girl, so I'm not, if I got nails, it's just because I hadn't trimmed them. If they look good, that means I've had to actually go somewhere and be a girl, but let's see. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out which one catches the light better, which angle looks like it's been stepped on and which angle looks like it's not. So that's what that is. I mean, each is their own, whatever. I've removed the books. We seem to be pretty good. I've started putting my side pieces on the bottom first. So anyway, I've okay, I put a strip of this on to this. Then I've rolled it around it, and as I get to each step, then I unpeel the that piece so that I can, and that's just because when I use hot glue, which we will use for some of the other parts, but on these right here, I don't like the bumples or the where it messes it up. So anyway, that's why I've used the double-sided tape on some things that I didn't want it to look so messy. And then this one, I've already covered it. I didn't cover this back piece because it will be glued up to here. But I went ahead and went around the, with my, which took longer than I thought because I realized I didn't have my glasses on. So anyway, I'm going to finish cutting this piece up and stripping them. And then, like I said, I like to fold them so that I'll have a good and crisp fold on it. And then I'm fixing to apply this tape, get this stuck down, and then we'll be back. All right. Now, for this piece right here that I cut to put on here, I went ahead, and used the tacky glue. And then when I take this piece right here and I come and I roll it around to the side, I will also be using some tacky glue. I was going to use some hot glue, but I don't want it to warp the styrofoam and eat into it. So I'm going to try this first, and if it doesn't work, I may end up tacking it with some hot glue gun. But for now, I'm going to just go ahead and take my brick paper, and I'm fixing to wrap the bottom part of that porch. Okay? And then I will be back. Alright. So I've kind of got, now of course I'll have to finish this all the way to the end. This side I don't have to finish because that's where that wall will come in. So I'm not worried about that. But we're going to let this glue dry right fast, right quick. And then I'll be back for the next step. Thank you.